So I did it again. I plan to start something, my peppers, and you're supposed to start them around 10 to 12 weeks before your last frost. And today it is March 1st, which means my average last frost date is like May 9th, and that is only 9 weeks away. So I'm officially late. Are we surprised? No, because I sidetrack sallied my way through getting my peppers started, but that's okay. And if this is your first time around this corner of the interwebs, then hello, my name is Kiri, and if this is not your first time, then welcome back, my plant nerds. So this video is kind of a crossover between my two channels. So this is the indoor channel. I have the other channel, which is my outdoor growing channel, growing food in small spaces. And this is me leveraging my hydroponics to save my butt in my outdoor garden. You may be asking, how are you using your indoor garden to save your outdoor garden? And my friends, the answer is my AeroGarden Harvest Slim. This is the grow bowl. I have taken it out, and we can grow a lovely 6 things in an AeroGarden Harvest. Whether it's the Slim or the basic, whatever the configuration, you got 6 holes. We can take this 6 and magically turn it into 23. How, you ask? Let me show you. I picked up this. It's a bit shiny. Let me take the plastic off. Ta-da! So this is the AeroGarden seed starting system. This one is specifically for the Harvest Slim. And using this, you go from 6 to 23. And oh, well, isn't that lovely? It already comes with all the little grow pods in there, so I don't need to go buy anymore. And we also have some of the AeroGarden nutrients. So you will notice that there are baskets built in, which is fantastic. And then we take this, we lift off the one grow deck, and then this one is just going to fit right in there. It's got a little cover that comes off that just fits in there so you can get water in. I'm going to be using distilled water in this. You can use tap water if you want, but in the small systems, I mean, distilled I think is kind of better, but you use what you got. Before, I used to always use just tap water, and then I got this cool little nozzle thing that goes on one of those big jugs of the distilled water from the grocery store. So I just bought one, put the little thing on, and then it's automatic. You press it and it fills it up, and it's just handy. I don't got to lug water around. So that's what I use for the small systems. In the rise behind me, because it's so big, I still use tap water. And the little cover that's there where you put the water in, they have aligned it, if you can see in there, so it's right over where there's the fill to here line. The claim that's always made online about growing hydroponics, and I have not tested it myself, is that plants can grow up to 5 times faster, maybe more, in a hydroponic environment because everything is just there for them. They have the water, they have the nutrients, it's easy peasy. So what I'm going to do, because I am going to be growing more than 23 pepper plants, I'm going to do a couple of them in some soil. Now, peppers really like heat to germinate, but this isn't getting any heat, so I am just going to put them probably behind me just on the rise so they can at least benefit from the grow lights. In case you are looking for some peppers to grow, I will just quickly go over the ones that I am going to be growing because maybe there's one that you'll want to try. So if you don't care about what peppers I'm starting, that is fine. If you already have all your favorites, you can jump ahead to where I get back to actually doing the seeding at this timestamp right here. But if you, like me, love seeds and are always looking for different varieties, then I'll quickly share with you the ones that I'm going to be growing this year. And I have cut back a lot because everything was just getting too overwhelming outside and, just gotta scale back a little bit. So I tell myself as I start more than 23 pepper seedlings, but it's all relative. So the first one is this paprika pepper from West Coast Seeds. I'm going to be growing that and then hopefully making my own paprika powder, which I have done before. I have a video, I will link it up above, but I'm going to be doing it again. This is a different variety than what I used last time. Then we have from Renee's Garden, the early frame jalapeno, because we use a lot of jalapenos. We like tacos. I have affiliate codes for both of those. They are in the description below if you want to use that. If you don't want to, then you can just go to the sites. This one is from Baker Creek. This is the arroz con pollo. I just love this. It is a great flavor pepper. I think I got this originally as a free seed, and that's why I tried it. I don't remember. I have been growing this one for years. Also from Baker Creek, we have the Jimmy Nardello peppers. I tried to grow these last year, but they got kind of lost under some tomato plants that went a little crazy, so they didn't do well. So we are going to try again this year. Then another one from West Coast Seeds, the Arapaho pepper, which is a cayenne chili, and I'm going to make some chili powder with those. We have also from Baker Creek the Javarski pepper. It's a Macedonian roasting pepper. So there's, I think it's called ajvar. I am probably butchering that, and I am sorry if I am, but I wanted to make that. These are used to make a paste that can go on toast, and it's supposed to be delicious. If you have a good recipe for that, put it down below because I'm hopefully going to be using it. I'm a big baby when it comes to spice. I can't handle spice, but I do still grow some hot peppers. The next one's probably the hottest pepper that I'm going to grow, and they're super tiny and like super deadly, at least to me. And I will use like one very sparingly in a recipe, but I still love them and I still grow them. These are the Thai red chilies because I love cooking Thai food. I have some poblano peppers. This one's from M.I. Gardner, the Ancho Grande. And then another Renee's Garden. This one is a heirloom jalapeno. So we're going to try that one too. And some of these I'm going to probably be trying in my green stocks, which I absolutely love. Also, discount code for that. I think you save $10 with my code. If you haven't used a green stock or don't know what they are amazing if you don't have a lot of space. I love mine. I am up to 6 now. And I will put a link above to the video where I assembled mine. Next, we have the Anaheim chilies and from West Coast Seeds. And honestly, I don't even remember why I bought this one. I think somebody mentioned it in a recipe, and I'm like, let's grow those. Then one from Incredible Seed. This is the Emerald Giant Peppers. No picture on that one. It's just a bell pepper. The next two are one of my top 2 favorites. I have the other one that is my other favorite in here, but there's 2 color varieties that I'm doing of both of them. So this one is the Bikino Red and the Bikino Yellow. They're from West Coast Seeds. Baker Creek has them. Other places have them too. These are super, super, super tiny peppers, but oh my goodness, the flavor. Like you can smell them when you cut them. They just absolutely love them. They do have a lot of seeds, especially considering how tiny they are. But yes, try. I would really suggest you try these. Now this one I know I got because of recipes. I think I was watching Joshua Weissman. I don't even know how to say his name, but anyways, love his cooking channel. And he is always going on about Fresno peppers. I've never seen them in Canada. I'm not saying they're not here, but it's definitely not something that's used a lot. They're not terribly hot, but I am intent on growing some of my own. I got these ones from Vessie's, and these were the Flaming Flare, but I am very, very excited to try those. And then we have some shishito peppers. These are great. You can like blister them on some heat and then put them in a oli to dip them, and they are yummy. And then the last 2 are my top favorite. And this, again, there's 2 colors now. There was one, and now I found a second one. Both of them from Baker Creek, and they are the Lesia peppers. And they're sweet. I'm going to use these to make some hot and some not hot pepper jelly. And I just absolutely love these, and they're a cool shape, but the orange ones are new. I just saw those in the catalog. I think it was this year, or at least this is the first year that I got them. So excited. That's enough talking about the seeds. Now we got to get them started. So I mentioned that I had that pump for my water bottle. I would just show that to you guys. I'll put it in the description below for the one I got or something similar. It's totally not a necessity. I just saw it and thought it would be cool, and yeah, it's just handy. This is it. Got a little battery in it. It's a little bit dusty. And yeah, you can do the 600 mils, or you could just turn it on and turn it off. And it just goes onto this bottle of distilled water. All right, so let's get this in there. It's a little tricky to get out, so just take that off and then lift her out. And then I'm gonna need 2 hands for this or it's gonna go horribly wrong, but oh, there we go. And then I just did the 600 mils so it doesn't get completely out of control. So I'm gonna get this filled up and then we'll get back to planting. So that was handy. I did it 4 times with the 600 mils and it went almost perfectly to the fill to line. The light is at the lowest level because that's what we want for the seedlings. So what I'm going to do now, and this is just what I always do, I'm going to put 2 of each in each hole. I will have to pull one of those out. If you can't bear to do that, then just go ahead and do 1 per hole. The only reason I do 2 is in case one doesn't germinate, then I'm not it's not even further behind. So I have two of my bootstrap farmer pots, link for those down below too. Lots of links in this video. I mean, I just mentioned them in case you guys want to try these things out. These are the things that I use and like. And I think I'll probably do one of the Lesias and one of the Pequeños in here. And then the rest, we will just start in here. Now, one thing I will link for you guys in the description is a template of this that you guys can use because it is so important to label what goes where. And if you just put all these things in, unless you have photographic memory, my friends, you will forget. Trust me, you do not want to be kicking yourself because you didn't take the few minutes it takes to label and then you have no idea what's what. Some of these will grow to different heights, some of these will need more staking, so knowing what variety is where is key. And then when you take them out of here, make sure when you put them into pots that you are also labeling them. And I don't know where I've put it, but you're going to want to make sure you have a UV resistant pen for the garden. I'll put a link, yes, another link, down below to the one that I use. And if you use a Sharpie, you may think the Sharpie does not come off of things, but I guarantee you, if you write on the little plastic markers or on a pot with a Sharpie out in the sun is more powerful than the Sharpie. And while I am putting the link below to the template, another thing you can do if you have an iPad with one of the Apple Pencils is you can take a picture of the grow deck and then you can just on your iPad go ahead and write on the photo where everything is, and then you don't need a template. So there are always more than one way to accomplish something when you're gardening. All right, so I'm not gonna do the whole thing because this will be super boring, but I'm going to start with the Lesia pepper. Because these ones are brand new, you know what, I'll probably just end up putting one in. If you're wondering why there's two when I just said I was doing one, it's because the other one's gonna go in the soil. So I'm going to put that in the very first hole there. And then because this was the yellow Lesia, I'm gonna take the other one, pop it in my soil, cover them up, and then I will get this moistened and put it on the raised garden. And then I am just going to get the rest of these done because otherwise you guys will be bored stiff watching me put seeds in. You can see all of the little dealies have popped up. You can pre-soak them. You just want to make sure that they all are completely absorbed. So I'm just going to keep an eye on it and make sure that these guys do go down and get all wet. So I'm actually not going to put in any of the nutrients just yet because I'm starting the whole system just with seedlings. They don't need it yet. They're not going to need it really until they get their first set of true leaves. Going to be the second set of little leaves that you see. The first ones are called the cotyledons. So I'm going to wait. I'll probably let it do its 2-week cycle. And then when the feed light comes on after 14 days, I will go ahead and put some of the nutrients in. Then you can put it in now. It's not going to hurt anything. It's not really helping anything either. So I just skip it because there's nothing already growing in there. If I had other things in there that were bigger, then I would definitely be putting in the nutrients because you don't want to starve them. So that, my friends, is how you turn 6 holes in harvest into 23, save your outdoor garden, and just generally have a good gardening time. As I mentioned, I'm going to keep an eye on those pods just to make sure that they sink down. One thing you really want to make sure is that you've leveled your unit, and there's a couple of other beginner mistakes that you definitely want to avoid, and you can check them out in this video over here.